What's wrong with me?
What's wrong with her?
Hey, hey,
Shout out to
hey.
Chris.
We back. We back in effect.
Yes, we is.
We
Welcome to
got lots of
Opinionated
things to
Voice.
cover today.
Yeah, we do. And she the one that been all over all the games, way more than me. She's the wise one, ladies
Man,
and
am
gentlemen.
I the plug?
Yeah,
Is
you the
that what that
plug.
is? I'm the plug?
That's what. Yeah, you the plug.
I'm the plug. Okay. I can
That's
be
our
the
host, ladies and gentlemen. That's
plug.
Chalk, and it's your boy Opinionated MJ
All day long.
all day. Go ahead, go
Shout
ahead.
out to
What
your
you?
soul day yesterday. How old did you
Oh,
turn?
thank you, thank you, thank you.
How old are
Oh,
you
we
now?
we
Like
we revealing them like
16,
80,
17? No.
87. I'm 87
Bad.
now.
Bad. Sounding younger than the mud.
16.
16
Um,
piece.
no,
Man,
15. I'm,
man,
I'm 21,
man. My baby's birthday was
25.
yesterday too. He turned 14.
Who? Who?
Shout out to Jeremiah.
Oh, God, time flying. Time is going too fast.
Ain't it? Ain't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Time
We
is flying.
we was just Minecrafting like two
For
yesterdays ago, like real heavy Minecrafting with a dang on
real. For
dirt
real.
like road that went all the way across to some island or something like that. I ain't forget.
I remember that. I think I still have that
Yeah,
Minecraft too.
yeah,
I
we
think
need
I
to
still
pull
have
that
it.
up just for old time's sake one of these
For
days.
sure. For sure. He'd be down. He'd be down. All he think about is basketball. Basketball, basketball, basketball. So
Yeah.
shout
Oh
out to
yeah,
y'all
people,
too.
and as y'all will hear ongoing noises, because I'm at work, so y'all gonna hear a
Right.
lot of noise, possibly the wind. Y'all might hear the police or EMS roll by, dogs barking, all types of stuff.
Ah,
The car, the keys. So
as
just
long as you ain't
bear
saying,
with
help
your
me,
boy.
help me
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah. You might hear me slip, trip, or fall, anything. You might, So be prepared for just noise.
Ain't thinking about
that's that's a part of this.
it. Hey, it's all good. Don't stop nothing. Let's get it. We got
Oh,
stuff to
or the
say.
garbage truck because he's on his way down here too.
We got stuff to say though, because you've been. We can't be no garbage bags, trash bags, and staggish
You
trash.
can't be a bag of trash.
Can't be no bag of trash. So the
Can't
first
be a
thing I want to
bag.
touch on is the return
The
of
return of the
Ja.
man. Oh my God. Oh,
Man, the return. Now we made a podcast about this a few days ago. Before his
yeah.
return, I made one on the Dog Side website. Um, but they're all together. It's all opinionated.media.
Yes.
Check that
That's
out.
that's a website, y'all. That is a website.
That is a
That's us.
website.
Yeah.
Opinionated.media. I might have said it
Yeah.
wrong before, but I got it down now. I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
It's
good.
cool.
I got
They'll
it
they'll
down.
they'll get it.
So
They'll figure it out.
so Ja Morant, like, okay, the first few quarters I seen him acquiesce to, his teammates because they had the,
Oh, acquiesce.
I gotta pull it out.
We pulling out my favorite word.
I gotta pull it out. To me, he was being too passive. Like he was being way too passive. But I get it. He hasn't been around for 25 games. He doesn't want to throw them off. But when he noticed that he had to take over the game, he did,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it was so
And
beautiful.
that's
It was
what you
so.
need in your star player to have the ability to make sure that you're engaged as best as you
Mhm.
can be, figure out who's
Yes,
got a rhythm, who's hot, you know what I mean? And
absolutely.
then yeah, take the reins when it's time, after the opposing team then settled in on, oh well, he's gonna be
Yeah.
passive and we're gonna have to, but knowing that you can turn it on at any time.
Anytime though. And
Yeah,
I know that about Ja because I watch him. Like he's one of my favorite players in this league. And I just knew he would turn it on. You could see him wanting to. You could see him wanting to. He was guarding a little different. He was going for those loose balls. He was going for, the pass paths and all that. I mean, he was he was locked in.
yeah,
That third quarter came, he was like, okay, what y'all need me to do? And you could see them in the huddle, like, You. We'll come after
Yeah,
you. Like you do
yeah.
you. And he did. And he brought from a 24-point deficit, 24 points. Okay? 24-point
That's
deficit.
and that's what you want. That's what you want out of your star.
Man,
Exactly what you want.
man. He was passing up on threes. But if you're not feeling good, don't chunk up nothing like that. I get that.
Right.
With the first game back, I get that. Even though I wanted him to chunk him up, he was going ahead and trying to get old boy warm because old boy Bane, he was cold as ice. He couldn't hit nothing.
Yo, it's cold as ice.
Man, he couldn't hit nothing, Mike. He was just out there. He was trying to do his best, but he was out there. Anytime for me, I think, when a shooter is not hitting those outside shots, they need to go to the basket. They need to get some free throws in just to get that muscle
Yeah.
memory
You
back,
get a rhythm. Yeah, get a
Yeah,
rhythm.
yeah. And he was trying, but they wasn't calling up it. It's something different with the officials this season. They not
Yeah.
calling every single thing like they used to. They letting some stuff
I
slide.
disagree. I disagree with that
I mean, well then tell me
because
about it, then, stud.
nah the officials is sometimes to me because I know watching the Pistons because that's the home team. Don't go in on me, people. Leave me alone. Yeah, I know
Oh
2 wins,
God.
whatever. But
Okay, they late.
but I don't know if it's been my team just being trash
Hmm.
or what. You know what I mean? But the foul disparity, not even just with my team, just for some teams, it's not there. You know what I mean? Like uh my team doesn't get those calls, but we get called for everything.
You think so?
Especially who were we playing the other day? Yeah, I forgot who we were playing, but it's
Somebody
like
to keep y'all, bud.
it's somebody. I tweeted out some like you can't even breathe on you can't breathe on boy. I forgot who we were playing, but we couldn't breathe on them, or it was a foul.
I
It
think
was the
certain
game that
players.
everybody got fouled out. Who did we just play that we almost beat?
Um.
Atlanta. Trey Young.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Trey
Yeah.
Young, you cannot, and I know a lot of people make a big deal about Trey Young, and actually your boy Embiid. They say they are foul merchants, but man, you can't breathe on Trey Young. Like he got I think Ivy fouled out, and somebody else had like 5 or 6 fouls. Like he had multiple people fouled out, and I'm just like, come on, man, like that really that kind of messed the game up for us. The fouls
Yeah.
and
It
just
can
not really
be.
having a defense as it is anyway.
Now, I'm not saying that all refs are, given the benefit of the doubt. It is some refs still that are like being petty about that whistle. I ain't even
Yeah,
gonna lie, they being real petty about the whistle, but that's just a little piece of some of these refs. It's not the refs in whole because what I've been watching in these last, 20 some games, they have been kind of, keep playing, just keep playing. Don't look to me to argue. Just keep playing or I'm gonna throw you a tech. Like, and most of the players are trying to play through it. It's early in the season and they're trying to get their footing. They can't do what they did last year. Trey Young is one of those players that, he wants to run in front of you and make you foul him, or he wants to run into you and make him foul him. And he's getting those calls. He didn't get them with us because we handled him a little differently. But I also think it's the team too. The team has to handle being called out like that. You have to change up. You got to switch up. You can't keep doing the same thing. It's redundant. You got to switch it up. And that might be a problem with Detroit. Detroit, they're not really switching up how they play. They're just going to play their way and that's it. And they're going to be on a quarter losing streak and continue if they keep doing that. They got to switch up. They got to change up how the game is being played. They need to be faster, slower, you know, whatever. It's about the coach and having to adjust to help your team adjust. To me, in my
well,
opinion, in my opinion.
I mean, we'll see. I will have to watch some more like maybe Laker games or something like that.
I mean,
But
LeBron
I
ain't
mean,
even
I
get that
don't
many
know.
calls.
Yeah,
LeBron's
I
shooting
don't know.
what, like 4 or 5 free throws a game?
That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch select teams and literally or just go run through some box scores. But I mean that the box score alone isn't gonna tell me the truth.
yeah,
So I'm
it
gonna have to
really isn't.
watch a little bit more of because I've been a little local lately, except uh a few teams that's been doing their thing.
Right.
But I definitely caught John and I caught Steph the other day for sure.
Ooh,
That game.
Ja. He played again
Yeah,
tonight.
I'm he looking like the face of the league for real. Like I wasn't
Man,
necessarily feeling that when everybody was like, oh, the reason the NBA is coming down so hard on him is because he's basically the new face of the league and this and that. And I'm like, is he? Because I feel like it's Steph Curry.
he's the
Steph is
new
the face and
Steph
LeBron is the body.
Curry. He was the face maybe 5 years ago.
No, he's still the face now.
Nah, man, I don't think he the
I mean,
face.
as far as
There's a
the
whole new
public
point guard in the league now. There's a whole
is,
new guards period in the league now. Guards aren't being like Steph anymore. Guards are guarding, they are being defenders as well as scorers. And that's Ja Morant, that's Anthony Edwards, that's Tyrese Maxey, that's Tyrese Halliburton. It's a whole different edge of guards this season. And I mean, you guys have a guard that isn't even really ball handling the ball that much.
he not a guard for real. Not to
He
me,
really
he not.
not. He really
He a
not.
three.
Guard
He's a
is guards
three.
are changing. They've been changing for the last 5, 6 years anyway. Ben Simmons used to be a point guard. That's gone away. Big men point guards aren't aren't the thing no more. Honestly. I mean, and that's probably what Detroit is trying to do. They got a big man guard, but I don't really think Cade should be handling the ball the way he is.
I don't
But
think so either.
that's what they calling for him to do right now. So I mean, what can he do? They your boys play tonight against the Jazz. I mean, it's at home. The Jazz have some crazy guards on their squad. What can your team do to combat that? Put
I
Sasser out there,
still
put Ivy out there. Let Sasser bring the ball up. Let him do his thing and find Cade
I
cutting to
say
the basket. Or
I
they're
say
gonna
let
ruin Cade's career. Cade is
no,
gonna
they're not
it's
gonna
gonna
ruin his career.
it's gonna go
It-
4 or 5 years where Cade is being utilized in the wrong position, and his peak is gonna he's gonna be at his peak, and it's gonna get toiled if they continue the way they are now.
I'm not gonna say that his career is gonna be, a certain type of way. And I know you like to reference Kemba Walker. but
Yeah,
and it's funny, ever since you mentioned him, I've seen uh things with him being overseas, being happy. I think he just had some type of statement or something that was out. But anyway, um no, I mean guard wise, getting back to the head of the conversation, going back to the Steph Curry portion of it and whatnot, and the face of the league part. Um, I feel like just the viewership explains that he's the face, and Ja is like the new age, along with a bunch of other guards like you mentioned Tyrese Halliburton and all the other guards. Maxi, I've been saying Maxi was a point
Aaron
guard anyway.
Fox.
You just needed to get yeah, oh, definitely Da Da and yeah, I mean, because everybody's not Steph. It's only one Steph Curry. Not even Trey Young is Steph. You notice that he's more passive now,
Hmm.
um, because his assist numbers is pretty high, and maybe it has to do with the fact that Steph has had Draymond Green to kind of orchestrate things because Steph can run them assist numbers up too. And Trey
He
Young has
can.
that three ball like Steph, but he just ain't breaking nobody back like Steph. Like you seen that game the other day, right?
I did.
You seen how Chris Paul threw him the ball and he just flicked that boy up.
Yeah.
like It was devastating.
Yeah,
Like Trae Young not doing it. You know what I mean? He's not devastating you with a three.
yeah, nah, he
So
not. But Steph, I don't even
yeah,
think Steph is really a point though. He a guard for sure, but I don't really think he's the true point.
I mean he is, but he's the like he's a lethal scorer as well. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of people get caught up in that conversation where it's like, oh well, if
He's a
he's a scorer, is he
diabolical
really a point
scorer.
guard? It's like, I mean, but he's the different type of point guard. Like you don't need him to really push the ball because he affects so much of the of what the defense is going to look like for the opposing team that he doesn't have to have the ball in his hand. He doesn't have to be the one facilitating. If anything, with his scoring acumen and ability, having him off the ball is actually better because
Is
you
way
got to
better.
chase Boy around. You know what I mean?
I
And
think
then
that's
they
the whole
gave him
reason.
Chris Paul.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
absolutely. I think that was the reason why they got Chris Paul, so they could have a solid facilitator. Because if you when you watch the Warriors, he Steph Curry is setting picks and running around.
Yeah, yeah.
He's not really
And
looking to pass unless he don't have a shot. And to me,
yeah, he shouldn't.
that's not a point guard. If
I
he don't
mean,
have a
but
shot to throw up, he gonna try to drive and kick it.
he is a point guard. He's a point guard.
I don't think he's the point guard in this league. They
He's a.
got him
I think
that
he.
way, but I think he'd be like you said, he's better off the ball.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. I mean, well, no, I'm not. That's gonna be an obvious answer. Um, well, I'll
Okay,
ask it this way then. What do
okay.
you want? What do you prefer Steph doing? Passing the ball or shooting?
Shooting, of course.
Okay, so that doesn't mean that he's not a point guard. That's just
A point
you
guard is
prefer
your
that
floor
he.
general, bro.
I mean,
So your
he
floor
is the floor
general,
general though. He's the floor general.
how so though? How so?
I mean, he is a floor general. I'm not gonna say the general because it's been Draymond. I just think that we've seen too much of Draymond with him that a lot of people don't want to declare Steph a point guard. But he is a point guard. He's a point guard. It's just you can't put a finger on it and say he's not one just because he hasn't had the ball because we can see Steph with the ball. It's just a matter. I mean, like now we see him with the ball more. You know what I mean? But he's such a lethal scorer, and then the way their plays is set up and everything, like just the way the offense is set up, it's curated around him having the ability to free roam because he has so much attention on him. Like
Right.
I feel like that aspect of him is like a part of his floor generalship, if that's a word,
Okay.
generalship.
I'm here for it.
um,
I'm here for it.
yeah, but yeah, like that's adding to it. So I mean, and you do got the other guards. Like I mean, you rather see De'Aaron Fox score or pass. You want to see him score. You know what I mean? Like you want to.
Well,
Everybody
okay.
not Tyrese Halliburton, but Tyrese Halliburton when he breaking your back when he was making a bigger name for himself during this play-in tournament, you know what I'm talking in the season tournament.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, why though? Because he was closing out the games. He was winning the games with what scoring.
Scoring, yeah.
Doesn't mean he's
But
not a point guard.
he's also getting 10 plus assists a game.
I
Not
mean,
every
yeah, but
now and
that's
again.
that's
How much Steph gets?
that's
Steph gets like under 4 a game.
about
If he
four or
gives
five.
it. If
I mean,
he
but
gets.
but that the way the offense is set up in Golden State is not really designed for him to control the ball to the last second and then give it to the whoever is in
Tyrese
the best
Halliburton
position to
don't
score.
control the ball like that. He's passing it 3, 4 times before there's a shot up. It might get passed back to him, but the way their
Mhm.
offense is ran, it's throw it in the middle. If it can't you can't get up in there, throw it back out, run it around.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
that's the way that's the way Indiana is being played because that's how he plays. But with Steph, it's like, okay, pass the ball to Steph, he don't got a shot. He's gonna throw it back to somebody else, and he's gonna set a pick. He's gonna try to get himself a run around. He's gonna run around for a while until he can get some kind of spacing, then hit him back and let him shoot. Like to me,
Yeah, but
that is a shooting guard. That is a
that doesn't
shooting
mean
guard.
That doesn't mean he's not a point guard though, because that's part of the. That's what I'm saying. It's that's like a whole nother conversation. That's a pod.
You don't
That's a
see
pod in itself
De'Aaron Fox doing that. You don't see oh boy in
because they
Cleveland
don't
do
have
that.
that. They don't have that shooting like that. They're not that threat. They're not that.
They don't have the Steph Curry threat, no, but you don't see other point guards doing that and on other teams. Name me one other team
No,
that plays like Stephen Curry. Nobody.
nobody.
So
Yeah,
that's what I'm
and when
saying.
they
Like
try, they fail.
he's not that system they got there is built around what his abilities are.
Exactly, and that's why I'm trying to say that we cannot take away from the label of him being a point guard because he's a point
He's a
guard to me. It's
guard.
just
I don't think
he's
he's a
so
point.
dynamic in his ability to score that pretty much everything is curated around that. Like, and it's weird, it's unique, it's he's one of one. You know what I mean? Like, you can go get a coach like a Mike D'Antoni or something like that, and he gonna turn your point guard into whatever because he gonna allow you to free roam, and then he gonna allow everybody to shoot so much that he's gonna make you a better shooter. Look at what he did to Paul Gasol. You know what I mean? Like, look, he had was it Tim Thomas or man, he was turning a lot of people into shooters, and that's just the system. But when you have a player like Steph Curry, where you have to curate the offense, like Steve Kerr came in there and let them free roam, and really Draymond became who he became because David Lee got hurt, and then that, you know, afforded him the opportunity to show Kerr, like, you know, this is what I can do, this is what I'm willing to bring to the table. Oh wait, this is my identity, and he became part of the actual identity of the team. You know what I mean? Like, keep moving the ball, and let the person that's hottest. I mean, you got Clay and Steph on your team. You know what I mean? But yeah, I feel like also the Warriors haven't necessarily had, at least recently, like last season, for instance, they haven't had the talent that, or I won't even say that because that would kind of be a lot. But
I mean,
I just feel like they don't always run the things that they could run with Steph, just the pick and rolls all the way to death, and the things that will turn him into more of a facilitator. Because at the end of the day, what would you rather see Steph doing, scoring or passing? But that's not
anybody
going to take away from
scoring.
him
I
being a point
mean,
guard.
anybody, of course, is going to be scoring. The game is to score. Yeah,
Yeah,
but to bring Clay out, to bring Kamunga out, to bring um these players that are role players, quote unquote, he has to be more of a facilitator. But he's not the one facilitating, it's Chris Paul. He's the one that's facilitating. He's the one that's getting
yeah,
these things open because he's the point. He's the guy that is supposed to be looking for this, looking for that. I think when Steph loses that mentality of I got to get my players open, then he's going to be an even better killer in backcourt. I mean, he is a monster at shooting. He's brilliant at shooting. He just people are well aware of his ability, well aware of it. They're not going to just let him score. They're going to try to guard him. They're going to try to get through these screens and all this, that, and the other, so he doesn't make these two half a second. All I got to do is touch my fingertips and I'm throwing it up there type shots. And people are getting inclined to that because that's what he does. There's That's
yeah,
what he does. And
yeah.
to me, that's a shooting guard. That's not
I
necessarily
mean,
a point guard. That's not necessarily a point
mm,
guard. No shade to Steph Curry. He is the man. He's a legend for sure. My kids worship him. They love him to pieces. But they're not working on their handles. They're not working on their passing ability because of Steph Curry. They're working on their shooting because of Steph Curry. Now, if they when they talk about Maxi, oh, they're talking about their handle, they're talking about their layup package, they're doing all that because that's what Maxi is doing right now. But Stephen Curry, he's a shooter. He's a lights out shooter. You're not going to be if you need some points to be made, get him open and let him touch that ball just even a little bit. Just get him enough to where he can roll that mug off his fingertips. and you got 3 points right then and there. And that's how he rolled up.
I
That's
don't
how he
know.
rolled up Boston. And them. He was killing Boston. They couldn't do
Yeah,
nothing
but
for him.
no, but okay, so that I mean that's something to ride off of for me as far as my because I'm not gonna not call this man a point guard. Like he's still a point guard to me. It's just he's just so talented. Like you can't. That's like calling. Well, I guess Iverson was a shooting guard, but he had who with him? Who was pushing point? Eric Snow.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Or
Eric
McGee.
Snow is.
And McGee was a
Uh,
forward. Because what did
you
Iverson
said
do?
who?
They said,
Embiid.
I said McGee.
Oh,
McGee
McKee.
was McGee was
McKee was a forward.
he was a
Okay.
forward, but he still was bringing the ball up. But see, yet and still, Iverson was getting set picks for so he could run around the dang on court to get the ball because once he touch it, it's going to the hoop, and that's what Steph does. They try to make AI a point guard. That's just not his natural ability. His natural ability is to score.
Yeah.
Like if
I
if
mean,
he's
but
running to the basket, he can't get it. He gonna pass it out. That's when he'll get his assist. It ain't because they set up a play for him to pass it out. It was because he knew he was not gonna be able to make it to the cup, so he's gonna pass it out. And somebody's gonna be wide open because there's gonna be two, three
man,
players.
I'm of the belief that Steph Curry is like the Kobe Bryant of being a point guard. Like,
Huh?
yeah, he's like the Kobe. Like everybody when LeBron came along, everybody was, and then they also were slightly here and there comparing him to, oh well, Kobe can't move the ball like LeBron, or in very few instances I've heard people mention Anthony Hardaway because he played with Shaq. And we've seen Kobe when needed, when requested from Phil Jackson, put up triple doubles, put up high assist numbers.
Of
And
course.
it's just what do you prefer him to do? Now I'm not saying Steph is Kobe, but he's Kobe as far as like
Kobe,
if
yes.
you need him, if like as far as having the ability to he could run up assist numbers if he wanted to. He could. They could hone in on okay, well, we're gonna just let
But
Clay
that's not what they
volume shoot.
want
We
from
gonna
him.
I mean, that's just gonna change the dynamics of what they do though. Like that means all of a sudden Clay's taking 5 more shots. Wiggins is taking the 3 to 5 more shots.
Yeah, but
Draymond gotta shoot for sure.
you're
Like,
right. That's not what they want from him. That's
I
what I'm
mean,
saying.
yeah,
He's
and
not a
why?
point because
Why
that's
though?
not what they want from him.
I mean, but he is
Shooting
a
guard.
point. He is a point. It's just he's at the point of attack. You do want your point guard to be able to score, and Steph is scoring like a shooting guard because he shoots, but he's still a point guard. Trust me. Like I don't know when he'll ever wind down because he still looks like he in his prime right now, if not more primal than ever. You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
like put some talent around him that can kind of get going. I guess in I guess step into their own prime. Like if Wiggins was a little bit more primal right now and was stepping into it, could drop 25 a game, you would probably see Steph take a back seat and kind of start doing the facilitate part a little bit more. But they need Steph to score to be a threat to score because everything is designed around that. You know what I mean? If the
Yeah.
minute that Steph starts missing, um, or you know what? Let's reference this.
Okay, let me ask you this:
What did
If
he put
Steph
up the other
Curry,
day, assist wise? Wait, what did he put up the other day when he missed them? He finally broke his streak of scoring a three for 265 games or however many it was. What was his assist number that day?
I think he had seven. Honestly, I think he had
Okay,
seven.
like
Um,
okay, all right.
was that
I
Tuesday's
mean,
game?
Tuesday. No, because it wasn't Tuesday's game. The game that he just went nuts. What's today?
Yeah,
Thursday.
that was Tuesday's game.
Wednesday. No, that one. No, that
They
was like
beat the
a Saturday or
Celtics.
something like that. Sunday. Was it?
Yeah, he beat this. They beat the Celtics on Tuesday.
Was that game?
Um, I'm going to the stats. How the heck do I get there? Hold on, let me
What you got?
expand.
What you got?
Let me expand
Get
it.
your report or something up.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Now I got the NBA app. What the heck? The NBA app just did me so dirty. I don't know what's
It
up with
tank
my
dived on you.
electronics today. My electronics
Hold
is
on. I'm a
just terrible today. Terrible.
yo,
Okay.
Bleacher Report.
Steph Curry had 6 assists.
In that game,
Yeah, 3 rebounds, 6 assists, 33 points.
33 points.
Yeah, he went, but
He didn't score that much.
yeah, he
He
did.
didn't score that much that game. No, not the
Yeah, he
game that
did.
he went 0 for 8 from 3.
I'm talking about the Boston game, Tuesday's
No,
game.
I'm not Tuesday's game. It's
What game you
before
talking
that.
about?
It's
It's
before
before
that.
Tuesday. Let's see. They played. They did play
I'm
Monday.
looking to. No, it
They
had to be
played
Saturday or
Sunday.
Sunday's game. Let me see.
Was Saturday.
Portland
They played Sunday.
Trailblazers. Yeah, okay, so
They played
yeah,
Sunday.
it was the Trailblazers. He had 7 points, but he had 8 assists. And
Seven
let me
points.
see. He
Golly.
had 8 assists. Chris Paul had 8 assists. Steph Curry is still a point guard.
Dang,
You get what
33
I'm
minutes.
saying?
He only scored 7.
Yeah.
Holy
He was
Strombo.
cold. 2 for 12, 0 for 8. You know, it happens
Zero
to
for 8. Ooh,
it happens
Lord.
to the best of us in life. You know, you hot one day and then you're not.
You right. You absolutely right.
But no,
Absolutely
what I'm
right.
okay, me reaching out for that. Okay, so
But
how many assists did he
honestly,
put in the Boston game? You said 7?
if he only scored, he had 7 points. Yeah, if he only scored 7 points, then honestly, he should have had more than just 8 assists, though, bro.
Nah, because that's not how the Warriors run.
The he,
That's not how the Warriors run.
who was their point getter? Clay in that game.
Clay
Clay.
and Wiggs.
I
Clay had
mean,
28,
so
Wiggs had 25. And
knowing that,
that's actually adding to my point. Like
you step
if
those like
Wiggins is playing primo, dropping 25, I just said it really. If he's dropping 25, Wiggins can do that every game. And you increase Clay's volume and he's actually connecting where we don't turn around and call him a volume shooter because of it, then Steph can be a point guard. He don't have to put them points up. That's the actual prime example of what I'm trying to say. That game alone is the prime example of what I'm trying to say. Until someone could sustain that type of scoring ability around him, then Steph, you will be able to try to call Steph Curry something other than a point guard. But at the end of the day, he's a point guard. Because let's say he puts that up, he's having a cold shooting night. Uh, but instead of having a cold shooting night, it's like, oh well, my boys can get off, so let me just go on and feed them anyway. You know what I mean? And
okay,
all
that's
of
what
a
I'm
sudden,
saying. He
the
should have
offense
at
runs
least
totally
had
different.
10, 11 assists.
I mean, not why though? Why their system doesn't run that way.
But I'm saying
The system,
you just said if he's having an off night, then he'll be more of a facilitator. So they won by 4 points.
no, I'm saying
If
like
they would have, if he would have passed it a couple more or got his teammates open a little bit more shooting
no,
0 for
no,
8,
don't go off that premise though. What
he could have.
I'm not saying if he's having an off night. I'm saying when I first said I don't know when he gonna wind down because he still look primal, but in the event of that, and then he has somebody around him that can step into a more consistent scoring role, you will see Steph Curry be a point guard. But their offense is not designed for Steph Curry to find the open man in the corner. He gonna get the ball, he gonna let it go. Y'all can try
Right.
to do something. They damn near play option football on a basketball court, but he's the best option because he gonna give the ball up. And if something else ain't developed by the end, which is usually something with Clay, or they'll figure something. Look like nowadays they trying to find Kuminga cutting or Wiggins or ISO. You know what I mean? Things like that. Draymond are being created to play with, having Steph Curry as an option out there, and he beat it and threw it over somebody coming from the corner, cutting in like a Wiggs or a Kuminga or somebody in the dunkers. You know what I mean? Like it's just not designed for Steph Curry to come up the court. All right, pick and roll. All right, I'm taking the man. Oh, they doubling me because I'm Steph. Oh yeah, here, boom, easy basket at the rim. Or here, I'm gonna kick it to you, but then you hockey assisted over to the man in the corner because they coming to me, and they gonna switch off to you in help off the man over there on the weak side. And you get what I'm saying? Like they
I
just not running
understand
that
that
type of offense.
concept.
They're not doing that. He is the guy. You know what I mean?
He
Like, and
is.
I'm
He
not
is.
going because of that. I'm not going to say that he's not a point guard because they just don't run the offense like that.
I mean, what did Chris Paul have that day?
He had 8 assists.
Okay, so if they're the actual fluid Point guard is getting 8 assists. How many did he score? Chris Paul scored what? 11,
4.
4 points. So I mean, that to me means okay, I need to help out. They did win the game. A dub is a dub. Okay.
Yeah,
They did win the game. So I can't really say, they could have won, did this to win or whatever, whoop de woo. But I'm saying if he's having an off night, him himself trying to get himself open 0 for 8 from 3. That's just from 3. That's not even the field. He had them
yeah.
shots, field shots.
2 for 12 from the
2
field.
for 12. Horrible night. In your
Yeah.
mind, you would think your coach would switch up and be like, okay, we need to put
No,
Steph at the Draymond level. Let,
no,
let him do what Draymond does.
no, because
Why?
then all of a sudden, no, that's not the way that their team is built, designed, and that their offense is not designed that way. Their offense is
I mean,
designed to,
luckily they played against the Trailblazers who were trash.
I mean, and I was about to get to that. Not the Trailblazers part of it, but the Warriors are undefeated without Draymond right now. How? If Draymond is the floor general and Steph Curry not a point guard, how are the Warriors winning? Especially if Chris Paul ain't really. I don't think
Chris
he's starting
Paul,
all of these games.
Chris Paul
No,
starting all
is
the
it?
games. He
Has
is.
he? Because I think he
Paul
came off the bench against Portland.
against Portland. I don't know about that. I thought
Yeah,
I
he came off the bench against Portland, if I'm not mistaken.
I saw him calling up the starting lineup, but I mean I could be
No,
wrong. I'm not. Let me see how many.
no,
Let me see how many minutes he played. How about that? Check the minutes
he played
played.
32 minutes, but on at least on this if this box score is correct, he's on the bench.
Hmm. I'm saying
He's
though.
he's on the
I
bench.
mean, I mean, we gotta agree to disagree. I see point guards in this day and age to be a lot different than Steph Curry shooting from the outside. The point guards that I'm thinking about in my head are the ones driving to the hoop, got these layup packages, got these, dribble handoffs, these pick and rolls, these looking for my big man type thing. Steph is looking for his shot, and he's running around trying to look for a shot. Whether he's 0 for 8, 2 for 12, whatever, he's still looking for his shot. And to me, that's not what a point guard does. But we just gotta agree to disagree. It is what it is.
I mean, I'm looking. Okay, so I see why you would feel that he's not a point guard because like the game against Brooklyn, he only had 1 assist, and Chris Paul had 11.
Mm-hmm.
But Chris Paul ain't. I mean, what do you want Chris Paul to? Okay, the same way I asked about Steph. What do you want Chris Paul to do? You want Chris Paul to take
What do you do?
15, 20 shots like Steph, or do you want him to pass?
No,
In
of
his
course
in
I'm
his
gonna
prime, did you
facilitate.
want Chris Paul to take the same amount of shots that Steph Curry took?
Chris Paul needs to go ahead and facilitate.
No, okay. So in his prime, did you want Chris Paul to uh
Facilitate. Yes.
shoot the same way, the same volume that Steph shoots, or did you want him to facilitate in his prime, the David West
Facilitate.
days?
Facilitate.
Okay, that's and why?
Because he's
Because
a point guard.
that's his greatest. Okay, so I'm Steph is a point guard,
Hey,
so
we,
you
we,
want
we gotta
him.
close
So
this
you
up, and we just gonna have to agree to disagree, and chalk it up on the next one for sure. I mean, we had a lot to cover today, and today
Yeah, we
we got
do.
close
We
up
do. We might have to
on this
episode this
debate.
like we're gonna have to break this up
What
into
makes a point guard?
episodes.
I need you
Yeah,
to comment on that. What makes a point guard? What
yeah.
makes a point guard? Why are
Or
guards?
or can there be other types of point guards? Because I mean,